Hello Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. How does Virgo currently view this relationship? Okay, Virgo. So we do have it looks like you recently made a really big decision. I do want to look at the Justice card though, just to kind of get a rough idea of what's going on. But you made a really big decision. And with the Knight of Wands, so the Chariot coming out here, that's kind of telling me that you're very determined to see this decision through. I just kind of feel like there's somebody that's like really hoping, that you experience an all of a sudden change of heart. But I don't think that you will, because you look pretty determined to see a decision through. So let's see. I feel like somebody's just kind of hoping that you're going to change your mind is kind of what I'm gathering. But let's look at the Justice card and see what's going on, Virgo. You could be dealing with a Libra, possibly a Cancer, maybe even a Sag. Tell me more about the Justice card. Okay. So we have the Five of Cups here in the reverse. We also have the Sun in the upright with the Seven of Swords in the reverse. And then we also have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Kind of looks like you decided to let go of someone, but it's someone that you didn't want to let go of. Is kind of what I'm getting. But it kind of looks like, yeah, you decided to let go of someone. With the Sun coming out here to the Seven of Swords in the reverse, to the Eight of Swords in the reverse, there's like so many like things going on with this energy alone. I feel like Virgo, with the Sun coming out here, and by the way, the Sun, it does speak of happiness and joy. I do feel like you were attached to something that wasn't really making you happy. And it looks like you really wanted to be happy. And a lot of you kind of came to terms with the fact that in order to be happy, you got to let something and or someone go in the process of it all. It does feel like a person, honestly, that you decided to let go of. With the Sun coming out here, it also speaks of like clarity and illumination. With the Seven of Swords coming out here in the reverse, I feel like you came to terms with the fact that somebody's never going to change. Somebody's never going to change. With the Eight of Swords coming out here in the reverse, this to me feels more so like the toll that this dynamic took on you. And that's also being highlighted to you, right? The toll that this dynamic took on you and how you don't want it to continue to take a toll on you anymore. So with that being said, it kind of looks like you made the decision, right? To let this individual go because of the way that the relationship was affecting you, this person was affecting you. It also has a lot to do with them refusing to change, but it also has a lot to do with the simple fact that this person / dynamic just simply wasn't making you happy. So as you're making this decision, Virgo, to like walk away from this individual and never look back, this person's really hoping. I keep getting that. It's like they're really hoping that like you'll change your mind at the last minute. How does this person currently view? Yeah. Going back to like what I said, it's like this person's like really hoping that like you're going to turn around and like, change your mind and want to essentially work things out with them. But it doesn't look like that's what's going to end up happening. And I think that that's going to like, start to hit them very quickly that you're serious. You're definitely serious about walking away from this entire situation. Never look back is kind of what I'm getting, because it doesn't look like you have any sort of intentions of looking back. With the Justice card coming out here, I feel like you thought long and hard about this, primarily because you wanted to like make sure that whatever it is that you do decide to do, whether it's to remain with them or not, you wanted to like make sure that whatever it is that you do decide to do in the end, it's something that you're personally able to like see through. So with that being said, it does appear to me that you're not going to have an all of a sudden change of heart. And once this person realizes that you're not experiencing this all of a sudden change of heart, like that's when like, fear is going to really start to kick in on their behalf. With the Moon, though, coming out here, I'm getting a lot of sadness off of this person, their energy. Yeah, a lot of sadness and a lot of fear. It's like a combo of both, especially with the Devil coming out here. I am getting like a very codependent energy off of them. I do feel like this person was very like codependent off of you to a certain extent. This to me just kind of feels more so like a gripping energy, like holding on to something for dear life, refusing to essentially let it go. But it kind of looks like with the Temperance card coming out here, it kind of looks like this person has no choice but to let you go. And that's exactly what's happening here. So the very thing that they didn't want to happen is basically happening, because it kind of looks like they didn't want to lose you is kind of what I'm getting. And it kind of looks like that's exactly what's happening here. How does Virgo currently feel? Okay, let's do this. So we do have the High Priestess, we do have the Seven of Wands, and then we also have the Ten of Swords. With that High Priestess energy, man, coming out here, you know, on an intuitive level and on a soul level, Virgo, you just kind of knew it was time to like walk away from this entire situation here between you and this person. And it looks like you're pretty happy that you did. Like, we're not getting any sort of like regrets coming from you. We don't see you falling into this energy of, oh man, like, did I make the right decision by walking away from this person? You know, should I have tried, you know, a little harder to make this dynamic between the two of us work? Like, we don't see any of that within your energy. Like, we see you very, very confident when it comes down to this decision of yours to walk away from this entire situation and never look back. I'm also getting a very freeing energy with you, Virgo. It's like you finally feel free. Something that you didn't necessarily feel when you were with this person. I mean, we do have the Devil out here. You know, this could definitely represent a dynamic between two people that was very toxic, you know, and unhealthy. And I am getting that this relationship, yeah, it definitely was very toxic and unhealthy. I mean, the Devil came out twice, which is not necessarily a good sign, and Temperance only came out one time. And Temperance trumps, you know, the Devil, but the fact that the Devil came out twice, that's kind of telling me that the Devil is kind of winning, okay, in this entire situation between you and this person. But you could have felt very confined and very like restricted with this person. It's like you guys went from like soulmates to cellmates real quick is kind of what I'm getting. But now that like this individual is not in your life, it's like you finally feel like you could breathe again. You finally feel free of them and all that came with them. Okay, cool. So it kind of looks like your decision told you it's time to let this person go. It's time to walk away from this. And it looks like you turned around and you listened. And it looks like you don't regret it. Looks like you do not regret it. All right, let's look at this person. How does this person currently feel? Okay. So we have the, interesting, we have the Ten of Swords. We have the Hangman. And then we also have the Queen of Wands. I am definitely getting that this person's perception of you is drastically changing, but it's not drastically changing for the better. Let's see what in the world's going on over here. Okay, let's look at the Hangman, because I keep getting that this person, let's see what that's all about. It's like they're looking at you like, yeah, their perception of you has changed. It's like they go from looking at you as somebody who loves them, somebody who, you know, cares about them, to like somebody who doesn't love them, somebody who doesn't care about them. And it really does hurt, by the way. It really does hurt for them to, you know, feel, right? Like you don't love them and or care about them. Oh, this is kind of why this person's perception of you is drastically changing. I just kind of feel like this person was like hoping, you know, that you would, you know, have a, you know, and all of a sudden change of heart and run back to them. And it kind of looks like you didn't. It kind of looks like this person was like hoping that you would try to like stop them, you know what I mean, from like walking out of your life. And it kind of looks like you, well, you didn't. And that changed this person's perception of you for the worst is kind of what I'm getting. We have the Six of Wands in the reverse. And then we also have the Nine of Pentacles. What's also leading them to think that you never really loved them and or cared about them has a lot to do with how quick you bounced back. It's kind of what I'm getting. which also is leading them to think and believe that you never really loved them and or cared about them, because in their head, they're just like, well, if Virgo loved me and cared about me, they would be just as sad as I am. And it doesn't fucking look like they are. It doesn't fucking look like they are. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting. So this person's basically convinced that you never really loved them and or cared about them, is what I'm getting, okay? I'm not saying that you don't love them. I'm not saying that you don't care about them. You know, maybe you do, or maybe you did. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm getting strongly off of them and their energy. What actions will this person take towards Virgo or moving forward? So we do have, interesting. We do have the Page of Wands. We do have the Hierophant, and then we also have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, well, that doesn't really make any sort of logical sense to me, but we're gonna roll with it, you guys. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. By the way, it is a true pair situation between you and this person. I do feel like you and this person shared a very strong and intense spiritual connection with one another. This could also indicate that this is somebody that you were married to or still legally married to, or this could just simply represent somebody that you were in a committed relationship with. Nonetheless, though, let's go over this energy that's showing up here for them in the near future. So it's like this person's contemplating, right? They're contemplating, like, should I just sit around and wait, you know, for Virgo to call me, for Virgo to text me, or should I just take action in their direction? Now, the reason why none of this makes logical sense to me is because the reason why they want to take action in your direction is because they want you and what they once upon a time had with you back in their life. Now, why on God's green earth would you want to get back with somebody who doesn't love you and doesn't care about you? Don't know, because they're extremely convinced you don't love them and you don't care about them. So that part doesn't really make logical sense to me. It's like, which one is it? Like, does Virgo love you or do they not love you? Do they care about you or do they not care about you? Like, that's like the confusing part. That's the part that doesn't really add up to me. Yeah, that's the part that really doesn't add up to me. And then even this energy, right? The energy of them like sitting around waiting, right? For you to call them, for you to text them. It's like, it doesn't make sense, because if this person is convinced that you don't love them and you don't really care about them and you never really did love them and or care about them, why are they sitting around waiting for you to call them? Why are they sitting around waiting for you to text them? Doesn't make any sense, but that's just kind of what I see them doing. This is kind of what I see them doing, Virgo, okay? What actions will Virgo take towards this person are moving forward? Let's see. Okay, so we do have the King of Swords. We have the King of Cups, and then we also have the you poor thing. You know, Virgo, I feel like you're attracting the very thing you don't want right now, and that's, well, love. Sorry, Virgo, so sorry, but it kind of looks like you're attracting the very thing you don't want. I'm getting that there's like a lot of like people that are just flocking to you. There's like a lot of people that are very, very interested in you and want to like pursue you, get to know you, take you out on dates, like, you know, and you're just like, ugh, get away from me. I just kind of feel like you're just so, I guess the best way that I could describe your energy, it's you're just annoyed. Yeah, you're just annoyed because you're attracting the very thing that you don't really want right now, which is, you know, love. Like, I just kind of feel like you just want to be left alone, Virgo. You just want to be left alone. Yeah. But it kind of looks like people have a hard time leaving you alone. It's kind of what I'm getting. Like, there's a lot of people that feel very drawn to you and your energy right now. Okay, well, let's look at the Ten of Wands, Virgo. Let's do that. Tell you more about the Ten of Wands for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. You have the Page of Swords in the reverse. Virgo, I feel like you look at, yeah, I feel like you had a really bad experience for sure, like with this person to the right of me, especially with the Page of Swords coming out here in the reverse. Like, You know, maybe this person was a liar. That's a possibility. Maybe this person was super childish. That's a possibility. Maybe this person was extremely immature. That's a possibility. Maybe this person didn't really take you or their relationship with you seriously, but I feel like your experience with this person, the way that they were within this dynamic that they once upon a time had with you, kind of has you looking at all men like all men are the same. All women are the same. No, thank you. I'm good. Get the hell away from me. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole lot of that going on, Virgo. Yeah, there's a whole lot of that going on. Let's look at this King of Cups. I don't know why this King of Cups is sticking out to me like a sore thumb. So let's look at the King of Cups, shall we? Tell me more about the King of Cups. I feel like this is like one of the people that are interested in you. Okay, so we have the Magician in the reverse, and then we also have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Ooh. Okay. You know, come here. Okay. With the Nine of Wands coming out here in the reverse, the Magician coming out here in the reverse, I feel like this person can just tell, Virgo. Like, without you having to even say anything, I feel like this person could just tell that you are somebody who has been through a lot in prior relationships. Because they're like perceiving you, Virgo, as somebody who just doesn't trust anybody. Without you, again, having to tell them all of this. It's like they could just see right through you. It's like the best way that I could describe it is I'm seeing her, but I freaking like this person. I'm gonna be honest, I really do like this person. I mean, King of Cups is somebody who's emotionally mature. King of Pentacles is somebody who's very big on commitment, very big on loyalty, also very, very big on respect. This is also somebody who, whatever it is that this person does for a living, they actually love what it is that they do for a living. I am definitely getting that. So they may not perceive like their job as a job. I am getting that because they love what it is that they do for a living. I do like this person. I'm not gonna lie. I do like this person. I do. But I just kind of feel like you're refusing. Like you're absolutely refusing to give anybody the time and or day, because when you look at these like suitors, right? When you look at these people that are like pining after you, because I'm sorry, you have more than two people that are pining after you. Like, especially with the Seven of Cups coming out here, Virgo, that's telling me that you have a lot of suitors that are pining after you. And it's interesting because I don't even feel like you're putting yourself in a predicament to have like suitors pining after you. Because again, it's like you want nothing to do with love. So you're not going to put yourself in that, you know, that predicament, right? To have people like after you, right? But I am definitely getting that even though you're not putting yourself in that predicament to have people like after you the way that I see, these people after you, it's still like annoying you and like frustrating you, because I feel like when you look at these people, all you see is like this person and everything that this person put you through, and it's causing you to kind of come down to this conclusion: all men are the same, all men are dogs, all women are beeps, to not say the actual word. And that's kind of what's turning you off. Virgo, to be honest, that's what's turning you off when it comes down to like these people that are like pining after you, wanting a chance with you. You're just like, ugh, get away from me. Get away from me. Let's look at the Two of Wands, Virgo. Let's look at the Two of Wands, shall we? Tell me more about the Two of Wands. We have the Five of Cups in the reverse. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. And then we... Okay. Virgo, when it comes on to this King of Cups / King of Pentacles like energy, don't get me, like, I feel like the difference between them and everybody else that's pining after you is like the moment that you give the rest of these people the impression that you're just not that interested, I feel like these people are going to fall back. But there's one person in particular that's not going to fucking back down. It's kind of what I'm getting. They are not going to fucking back down when it comes down to you, my friend. Like, everybody else is going to fall back. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to try. They're going to shoot their shot for sure with you. But once they see that they're not getting too far with you, they're just going to They're just going to stop trying. This one, though, they're not going to stop trying. I am definitely getting that this person's very determined to get to know you and build a relationship with you. But with the Knight of Pentacles coming out here in the reverse, Virgo, like, I just kind of see you kind of like, you know, blowing this person off. Like, get the fuck away from me. Get away, get away, get away, damn it, get away. But I feel like you'll eventually come around. And I feel like the reason why you're going to eventually find yourself coming around is because, let's just be honest, Virgo. I think that there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to find yourself really, really liking about this person, was just going to, like, you know, lure you in. It's going to draw you in, is kind of what I'm getting. So I do see you eventually, you know, giving this person, you know, a chance. I am definitely getting that. And I don't feel like you're going to regret it. I don't feel like you're going to regret it. I feel like this person is going to, like, change your perception of, like, men and or women, depending on what you were dealing with over here. Because if this person was a dude, you're kind of looking at all men, like, all men are the same. Get away from me. Ugh, get away from me. Disgusting. Get away. You know what I mean? Or if this was, like, a female that you were dealing with, it's like you're looking at all women like all women are bad. But when you start to, like, you know, build a relationship with this person, it's like you're going to see, like, not all women are the same. Not all men are the same. Because I feel like that's kind of what's going on here on your end. It's like, this one over here had you so convinced that all men are like this or all women are like this. But I feel like this person's going to change your perception of either men and or women, depending on what you were dealing with over here. Because this person does come off to me as somebody who's nothing like this individual that you were once upon a time romantically involved with. And that's what's going to also attract you to this person. Because your whole thing is you don't want to end up with what you once upon a time had, which is this person, right? And what you once upon a time had with this person. You just kind of want to avoid, like, dealing with somebody who was like them again. But that's the thing, is that with this person, they're going to show you. And by the way, this is just them showing up as their true and authentic self. Like, we're not getting a whole, like, let me woo Virgo, let me impress Virgo, let me pretend to be something that I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, this is just them showing up as their true and authentic self. It's kind of like what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? Like, they're not putting on a show for you. You know, they're not trying to impress you or woo you. They're just being them. And I feel like just by them being them, it just kind of has you very blown away and very, very impressed. Which is a good thing, Virgo. It's a really, really good thing. But if you think currently at the moment all men are dogs, wait until you meet this one, is what I will say. Or if you think all women are bad, wait until you meet this person, because they're going to change your perception. And I think that you're also going to be very impressed. What the hell is that? You're also going to be extremely impressed by their efforts too. Because I do see you blowing this human off. I'm not going to lie, Virgo. Like, I do see you blowing this human off. Like, get the hell away from me. Like, stop talking to me. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're trying to shoo this human away. But honey, when I tell you this one over here is determined, they are fucking determined. And I think that you're going to be very impressed by it. I feel like you like a man or a woman that doesn't back down. Like, I feel like you're into that. Yeah, I feel like you're into that. Like I said, this one over here is going to blow you away. That's one thing I will say. As far as this person from your past is concerned, considering, you know, the energy, you know what I mean, that came out, I think it's safe to say that you want nothing to do with this human being, okay? But even though you don't want anything to do with this human being, I do want to see what you could possibly anticipate and or expect from this person. So let's look into that. What could Virgo possibly anticipate and or expect from this person from their past? Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We also have the Lovers out here. And then we have the Devil. Remember, this person, this new person that harnesses King of Pentacles, King of Cups like energy, you're showing up as a Queen of Pentacles now. Anyways, when this person does come back around your way, because they will, that's kind of besides the point. I'm just going to be a straight shooter about this. I kind of see you getting the ick. Like, ugh, it's this person. Ugh, my God, it's them. You know what I mean? And I feel like the reason why you're going to respond and react this way has a lot to do with your history with this person. You don't have the best of history with this person. I mean, the Devil came out like, what, 3 times at this freaking point? Was it 3 times? Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like the devil is really winning in this marriage and a relationship. I will say that, but you know, it looks like this person will eventually come back, but by the time they do, you're already going to find yourself involved with somebody who's like the polar opposite of them. Like, in other words, I don't feel like this person has like a chance in hell with you. You know, it's like you're not going to go from having something really, really good and really awesome and really, really amazing to this ever again. Like, you're just not gonna do that to yourself. You know what I mean? You're just not. You're not gonna trade this human for this person from your past. You're not gonna do that. Like, you're not trying to go back to like living life the way that you were living it with this human. Like, you're not trying to do any of that. It's kind of what I'm getting. So with that being said, Virgo, when it comes down to this new person, they're going to give you every reason. They're going to give you every reason to want to love again. This one gave you every reason not, you know, to love again. But this one over here, they're going to give you every reason to want to love again. And I do see you definitely falling for them. You also feel very safe and very secure with them. Like, this is somebody that you feel you could actually trust. Like, this is somebody that you feel actually has your best interests at heart, something that you didn't necessarily feel and or experience with this person from your past. So if it's one thing that I will say is that you're definitely upgrading in the love department is what I'm getting. Okay. So with all of that being said, Virgo, that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading.